I'm Lena Lopez, and my life's been a canvas of colors and chaos, painted in the humid heart of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a muralist, turning blank city walls into stories of hope and rebellion, but my own story's been shaped by a mother who'd rather frame me in her perfect world than let me paint my own. That cream-colored envelope on my kitchen counter, sealed with gold-embossed lettering, was like a storm cloud threatening to wash away everything I'd built. For 3 days, I'd ignored it, but this morning, a text from my cousin Marcus lit up my phone. Asterisk, open it, Lena. You need to know. Asterisk, the envelope held an invitation to my mother Celeste Warner's 55th birthday gala at the Fox Theater, Atlanta's crown jewel of glitz and history. You are cordially invited, I read aloud, my voice heavy with sarcasm, to celebrate Celeste Warner's milestone in style. My best friend Harper, sprawled on my couch with her laptop, snorted. Your mom doesn't do subtle, does she? She'd been pretending to work, but I knew she was watching me wrestle with the weight of that invite. I flipped the card over, and there it was, a handwritten note in Celeste's sharp, elegant script. Asterisk, your presence is mandatory. Come face your future. Asterisk, my stomach twisted. Celeste, Atlanta's real estate queen, never just threw parties. Every move was calculated, every guest a chess piece in her game of power. I'd spent years dodging her attempts to mold me into her mini-me, pushing me toward business school, designer dresses, and a corner office in her Warner Enterprises tower. I chose paintbrushes over boardrooms, and she's never forgiven me for it. Harper shut her laptop and joined me in the kitchen. What's with the cryptic note? Sounds like she's planning something big. My phone buzzed again, Marcus, calling this time. I hit speaker. Lena, you gotta go, he said, his voice tight. Evelyn called me. The family lawyer. Said something's up, and it's tied to Grandma Alma's letter. My heart skipped. I crossed my loft to my easel, where a half-finished mural of Atlanta's skyline glowed in the morning light. In the corner of the room, I kept a small wooden box, and inside was the letter from my grandmother, Alma Warner. She'd passed 6 months ago, leaving me her antique locket and a note I'd read so many times the creases were wearing thin. I pulled it out, tracing her looping signature. Lena, it read, when the time comes, be brave. I've left you something to change everything, but you'll know when to act. Harper leaned in, her brow furrowed. You never told me about this letter. I swallowed hard. It felt personal. Grandma Alma was the only one who got me. She'd sneak me into her garden shed to paint when Mom was on my case. Said my art was my truth, not a waste of time like Mom always claimed. Alma had been Atlanta's beloved philanthropist, funding schools and galleries, but to me, she was the warm hand guiding my brush, the voice saying I could be more than Celeste's shadow. Marcus's voice crackled through the phone. The gala's in 3 days, Lena. Celeste's gone all out. Rented the Fox, invited every big name in Atlanta. Whatever she's planning, it's huge. Harper was already typing, her cybersecurity skills kicking in. Just check the event planner's guest list. Hacked it, don't ask. Over 300 people, including the mayor, half the city council, and every real estate mogul in Georgia. This isn't just a party. I stared at the invitation again, Celeste's words burning. Come face your future. 5 years ago, at a family dinner, she'd humiliated me in front of her society friends, calling my murals graffiti for hippies. I'd walked away, vowing to never let her control me again. But Alma's letter felt like a call to action, and the locket around my neck, a heavy, silver thing Alma never took off, seemed to pulse with secrets. Harper, what if this is the moment Alma meant? I asked, touching the locket. She grinned, her eyes sparking with mischief. Then let's find out what's inside that thing. Alma didn't leave you a puzzle for nothing. I hesitated, then pressed the locket's stiff clasp. It popped open, and a tiny microchip slipped into my palm. My breath caught. Whatever this was, it was about to turn my world upside down. The Fox Theater's grand ballroom glittered like a southern night sky, all chandeliers and velvet drapes, but the air was thick with tension. I smoothed my sapphire blue dress, definitely not the cream-colored gown Celeste had sent over, and felt Harper's reassuring grip on my arm. You ready for this, Lena? she whispered, her eyes scanning the crowd of Atlanta's elite. I touched the locket at my throat, thinking of the microchip hidden in my clutch. Harper had spent the last 3 days decrypting it, and what we found, documents proving Celeste forged Alma's signature to steal control of Warner Enterprises, changed everything. As ready as I'll ever be, I murmured. Marcus appeared beside us, looking sharp in a tailored tux. Heads up, Celeste is headed this way. My mother glided toward us, a vision in silver, her diamond necklace catching the light like a warning. Her smile was all charm, but her eyes were cold as they landed on me. "Lena, darling, you made it," she said, her voice honeyed but sharp. "Though I see you ignored my dress suggestion." "Happy birthday, Mom," I said, kissing her cheek, feeling her stiffen. "I like to choose my own style." Her gaze flicked to Harper, her lips tightening. "I don't recall inviting extras." Harper smirked, unfazed. "I'm Lena's date. You said bring someone special, right?" Before Celeste could snap back, Evelyn, our family lawyer, approached with 2 champagne flutes. "Celeste, the governor needs you by the stage," she said, her tone professional but her eyes darting to my clutch. "Yes." Celeste swept away. Evelyn pressed a flute into my hand. "You'll need this," she whispered. "Everything set?" I nodded. Harper had uploaded the microchips files to a secure server, ready to go live with one text. My heart pounded, but Alma's words echoed. "Be brave." I wasn't just here to crash a party. I was here to unravel my mother's empire. Then a voice stopped me cold. "Lena, you look different." I turned to find Julian Holt, my ex, standing there in a sleek suit, his lawyer's charm dialed up. We'd dated for 2 years, back when I thought he loved me, until he dumped me after a mysterious meeting with Celeste. "Didn't expect you here," I said, keeping my voice steady. "Mom invited me," he replied, his smile too sharp. "Said she wanted to keep family friends close." Harper stepped between us, her voice low. "Family friends who ditch their girlfriends after a chat with Mommy Dearest?" Julian's eyes narrowed. "That's ancient history. But you two seemed prepared for something." Marcus smoothly cut in. "Julian, I heard the mayor's daughter was looking for you. She's by the bar." As Julian walked away, I downed my champagne, my nerves fraying. "He knows something's up," I whispered. Evelyn checked her watch. 15 minutes until Celeste's speech. "You sure about this, Lena?" I thought of the microchip's contents, proof Celeste had betrayed Alma, siphoning millions from the family foundation. "I'm sure," I said, my resolve hardening. The ballroom buzzed with Atlanta's power players, their laughter masking the lies that held this world together. Alma's letter had promised answers, and I was about to find them. The ballroom's lights dimmed as a voice boomed over the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Celeste Warner." My mother took the stage, radiant in the spotlight, her smile a perfect mask. The crowd applauded, but I felt the locket's weight against my skin, grounding me. Harper squeezed my hand. "Showtime, Lena." Celeste's voice carried across the room. "Thank you all for joining me tonight. Family is everything, which is why I have an important announcement." My phone vibrated, Harper's signal that the files were uploading. Across the ballroom, phones began to ping. Guests glanced at their screens, their faces shifting from polite interest to shock. Celeste's eyes flicked to her phone on the podium, and I saw her jaw tighten. "Is something wrong, Mom?" I called, stepping toward the stage, my voice caught by the microphone. The crowd murmured as more notifications chimed. Celeste shot me a glare, then forced a smile. "As I was saying, I'm announcing changes to our family's legacy. Lena, my daughter, has chosen a different path." A woman gasped. "Is this real?" "These documents," whispers spread like wildfire. "She forged Alma Warner's signature? The foundation's funds, offshore accounts?" Celeste gripped the microphone, her knuckles white. "This is a misunderstanding. Please, ignore these interruptions." I climbed the stage, pulling the microchip's printed documents from my clutch. "No misunderstanding, Mom. Here's the proof, your signature, forging Grandma Alma's, stealing Warner Enterprises. And the millions you embezzled from her charities." The crowd erupted, phones passed around, screens glowing with evidence. Celeste's face paled. "This is a hack," she stammered. "A lie." Evelyn stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "As the Warner family's counsel, I confirm these documents are authentic." Alma left instructions for their release. Celeste grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. "What have you done?" she hissed. I pulled free, facing the crowd. "Tell them, Mom. Tell them how you betrayed Grandma, how you've been lying to everyone." The chaos grew. Business partners made frantic calls, society matrons whispered in horror. Celeste's voice cracked. "Lena, you're out. No inheritance, no trust fund, nothing." I laughed, the sound echoing. "This isn't about money. It's about truth." Harper held up her phone, grinning. "It's trending, Celeste. Every news outlet in Atlanta's got it." As security moved toward the stage, I felt a surge of triumph mixed with grief. This wasn't just about exposing Celeste. It was about honoring Alma's trust in me. The spotlight burned, but I stood tall, ready for whatever came next. The ballroom doors swung open, and reporters surged in, cameras flashing. Harper, Marcus, and I slipped into the Fox Theater's lobby, where Julian caught up to us, his face tense. "Lena, we need to talk." I froze, the sting of our breakup still raw. "What now, Julian?" He hesitated, then leaned in. "Your mom didn't just want me out of your life. She paid me to leave, said you were a liability to her plans." My chest tightened, betrayal cutting deeper than I expected. "You took her money?" Harper crossed her arms, glaring. "And you're just telling her now?" "I didn't take it," Julian said quickly. "But I dug into her files after." "Lena, those documents on the microchip, they tie to your dad's accident. He was investigating her accounts before he died." My world tilted. My father, Daniel, had died in a car crash when I was 15, ruled an accident. I'd always suspected Celeste knew more than she let on. Marcus pulled out his phone. "I found something too, in Alma's old office last week. Your dad's notes, hidden in a locked drawer. He was tracking offshore accounts linked to Celeste." I clutched the locket, my mind racing. "We need to get to the lake house. Dad spent his last weekend there. If he left something, it's there." We piled into Marcus's SUV, speeding toward Lake Lanier, an hour north of Atlanta. The lake house was a sprawling retreat, a symbol of the Warner family's wealth. But to me, it was where Dad taught me to fish, where we'd escape Celeste's control. Harper worked her laptop in the back seat, pulling more files from the microchip. "Lena, this isn't just fraud. It's a network, the Alliance. Politicians, judges, CEOs. Your mom's part of something huge." As we pulled up to the dark lake house, rain began to fall, cloaking the night in a heavy mist. My heart pounded with a mix of hope and dread. Whatever my father had left, it was the key to unraveling Celeste's lies, and maybe the truth about his death. The lake house loomed against the stormy sky, its windows dark as we crept toward the boathouse by the water's edge. Rain soaked my dress, but I barely noticed, my focus on Alma's words. "You'll know when to act." Marcus disabled the security system, giving us a narrow window. 20 minutes before it resets," he whispered, inside the boathouse. The air smelled of damp wood and old memories. I flicked on my phone's flashlight, illuminating fishing rods and cobwebs. "Third panel, east wall," I said, recalling Dad's old hiding spots. Marcus and I pried at the wood until a panel gave way, revealing a waterproof safe. My hands shook as I entered my birth date. The combination clicked open. Inside was a USB drive, a stack of documents, and a letter in Dad's handwriting, addressed to me. Headlights swept across the boathouse. "Cars coming," Harper hissed, peering through a grimy window. Julian tensed. "We need to move." I grabbed the safe's contents, and we slipped out the back door, sprinting through the rain-soaked trees to a guest cabin nearby. Inside, Harper plugged the USB into her laptop while I spread the documents on a dusty table. "Bank records, encrypted transfers," Julian said, scanning them. "Your dad was tracking the Alliance." Harper's screen lit up. "These files, they name names. Atlanta's mayor, a federal judge, even a senator. This is bigger than Celeste. Thunder roared outside as I opened Dad's letter. My dearest Lena, I read, my voice trembling. If you're reading this, I didn't make it. But you can finish what I started. The alliance is a web of corruption, and your mother's at its heart. A sharp crack split the air. A bullet shattered the cabin's window. We hit the floor as Harper typed furiously. Uploading everything to my server, she shouted. Another shot rang out. There's a storm tunnel under the cabin, I gasped, remembering childhood games. We scrambled to the bathroom, pulling up floorboards to reveal a dark passage. Voices echoed outside, not police, not FBI, but someone else. As we dropped into the tunnel, my heart raced. This wasn't just about Celeste anymore. It was about justice for my father. We emerged from the tunnel behind a gas station on Lake Lanier's edge, rain still pounding. My phone buzzed, an anonymous email with coordinates to a safe house in East Atlanta. Be careful. Trust no one. It read. We split up to avoid pursuit, reuniting at an abandoned warehouse-turned-art studio, its walls covered in faded murals. Harper was already inside, her laptop glowing. Marcus is 5 minutes out, she said. No sign of Julian. She turned her screen toward me. The USB files call it the Alliance, a network controlling Atlanta's power structure. Your dad was close to exposing it. I clutched his letter, the words searing. Finish what I started. Marcus slipped in, a scrape on his arm from a fence. I recorded something, he said, playing a clip from his phone. A man's voice, my uncle, thought dead, saying, the girl has the files. Protect the Alliance at all costs. The warehouse's lights flickered, and footsteps echoed. Celeste walked in, flanked by my uncle, now very much alive, and 2 armed men. Her face was cold, no trace of the society queen. Lena, stop this, she called. You don't know what you're up against. Julian emerged from the shadows, a gun in his hand. Sorry, Lena. The Alliance is bigger than you. Before I could process his betrayal, Evelyn stepped in, her calm lawyer's facade gone. Tell her, Celeste. What is the Alliance? Celeste laughed bitterly. Power, Lena. Real power. Alma built it. Courts, elections, everything. Your father thought he could tear it down. Harper whispered. Files decrypted. Uploading now. Phones buzzed as the evidence hit news outlets. Tara Evans, an FBI agent, burst in with a tactical team. Federal agents. Drop your weapons. Celeste's men surrendered, but she stood defiant. You don't understand, Lena. I was protecting you. Tara handed me an envelope. Your grandmother left this. She wasn't running the Alliance. She was undercover, working with us to dismantle it. I opened it, finding a photo of Alma with a young Tara and a note. You have your father's courage. End this to AS agents cuffed Celeste. I felt anger, betrayal, and a flicker of pity. Alma had trusted me to finish this, and I wouldn't let her down. The warehouse shook with an explosion as more of the Alliance's men stormed in. Harper clutched her laptop, still uploading. Almost done, she shouted. Tara fired back, guiding us toward a basement panic room. My mother's voice crackled over a stolen radio. Lena, stop this. Some secrets should stay buried. We reached the basement, but my uncle blocked the hall, gun raised. The Alliance dies with you, he snarled. Before he could fire, 3 shots rang out. He crumpled, revealing Celeste behind him, her hands cuffed but holding a guard's stolen gun. I won't let them hurt my daughter, she said, her voice breaking. Not like they hurt Daniel. I stared, disbelief mixing with rage. You killed Dad. She shook her head, tears falling. They did. He was going to expose the Alliance. I begged him to stop. Tara trained her weapon on Celeste. Drop it now. Celeste let the gun fall, her defiance gone. It's over, Lena. Your grandmother won. Harper's laptop chimed. Everything's live. Every account, every name. Alerts flooded our phones. News of mass arrests, the Alliance's network collapsing. Agents swarmed the basement, restraining Celeste again. She looked at me, a strange pride in her eyes. You're stronger than I was. Tara handed me a microchip from my locket's hidden compartment. Alma hid the encryption key here. Your dad's files unlocked the rest. I opened the locket, finding a tiny note. Truth is the greatest legacy. As Celeste was led away, I felt the weight of her choices and mine. This wasn't just revenge. It was redemption for Dad, for Alma, for me. The Atlanta skyline glowed as I stood in the courtyard of the old Warner Enterprises building, now the Alma Lopez Arts Foundation. Workers lifted a new sign, its bold letters catching the morning light. Harper stood beside me, watching the transformation. Your grandma would be proud, Lena. Turning this corporate fortress into a haven for artists? That's real power. Marcus handed me a coffee, grinning. The board just approved the final plans. The legitimate Warner assets will fund art programs for kids across Georgia. My phone buzzed, a text from Tara. Asterisk sentencing today. Thought you'd want to know. Asterisk I showed it to Harper and Marcus. I need to see this through, I said. They nodded. We're with you. The courthouse was packed, reporters crowding the steps. Julian was outside, giving a statement. I'm testifying against the alliance. Truth matters more than power. Inside, Celeste sat at the defendant's table, still poised despite the charges. Fraud, conspiracy, obstruction. The judge called for her statement. She stood, turning to me. Lena, I chased control and lost what mattered. Family, love, truth. Your grandmother tried to show me, but I failed. You didn't. The judge sentenced her to 20 years. As she passed me, she paused. Your father would love what you're building. So would Alma. I nodded, unable to speak, my heart torn between anger and sorrow. Later, at the foundation's opening, the former corporate halls buzzed with life. Young artists, scholarship kids from Atlanta's toughest neighborhoods, filled the space, their sketches vibrant with dreams. A girl named Maya approached, holding a drawing of a woman breaking free from shadows, surrounded by light. Did you paint that mural? She asked, pointing to my portrait of Alma. That's my grandmother, I said. She taught me truth is stronger than secrets. Why'd you start this place? Another kid asked. I smiled, touching the locket. Art saved me when I felt trapped. It showed me who I am. I want you to find that freedom too. Harper passed out sketchbooks, and Marcus hung a sign for free community classes. Tara appeared, handing me a worn journal, my father's, filled with sketches and notes. Found it in evidence, she said. It belongs here. I opened it, tracing Dad's drawings, his words about truth and courage. The gallery hummed with possibility, sunlight streaming through the windows. This was my inheritance, not wealth, but a chance to help others find their voice. Alma's portrait smiled down, and I felt her strength, Dad's sacrifice, my own journey woven together.